Internet. Yeah, Karen. Rachel's over there.
Hello.
Well, we're back after a while with our.
Please don't make me watch.
Please don't make me watch. My brain's already fucking fried. Last time, I got Rachel pretty good with Man with a Screaming Brain, and she decided to fight dirty with her choice, and she made me watch a film that I've never, ever wanted to watch. I have to give her credit. She pulled out the big guns, and you can't really see with the glare, but that's okay because it doesn't matter. There we go. Babes in Toyland, 1961.
The Funicello.
Yeah. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. Plot spoilers, all that crap. Yes, it's 1961, but I have never seen it before either, so I'm not gonna, fault you guys for that. Now with Please Don't Make Me Watch. If you don't know what that is, I choose a movie for Rachel to watch that I'm pretty sure she's going to hate. She discusses it, and she gets revenge, hence her revenge here. Now, one of the things we do for the videos is the person who is forced to watch it, and they can't have any electronic devices like an iPad or a phone to distract them, they watch it, and then they try to describe the main things that happen in the film, and then the other person tells them how wrong or right they are. So, from what I remember of this horrible movie, spoilers, it's not going to be very fun to talk about. We're following, it's Mother Goose Land, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, it's Mother Goose Land. And Annette Funicello plays Mary Quite Contrary, the garden. How does your garden grow, lady? She's marrying some dude named Tom. I'm just gonna say because his name's not important.
He's the Piper son.
Okay.
Piper son.
Who cares?
Tom Piper.
Don't matter. Don't care. And they're gonna get married, and what happens is, Ray Bulger from Wizard of Oz. He was the Scarecrow. He plays the villain who I was just calling the Purple Pie Man from Strawberry Shortcake just because of the way he's dressed. Him and his two really stupid sidekicks, they plan on kidnapping Tom and killing him. And what happens is then the Purple Pie Man wants to marry Annette Funicello for her money. And then something happens where Little Bo Peep loses her sheep. The kids go into the forest. That's pretty much the forest from the Wizard of Oz with the talking trees. Annette Funicello and Tom is found to be alive. They go try to save the children. They end up in Toyland for some reason. They totally forget about the sheep. They end up in Toyland where they meet this psychotic toy maker and his assistant who's basically the Nutty Professor, the Jerry Lewis thing. And then they help him make different gadgets to make toys. Purple Pie Man shows up, tries to stop Christmas. And then people get shrunk and then regrown, and Purple Pie Man is defeated because his sidekicks turn on him. And then Mary and Tom get married, and I shoot myself. How close was I?
You're pretty accurate.
Okay. This movie fucking sucked. I hated it so much. Here's the thing. First off, I was telling Rachel, when do the people get sucked into Toyland? Because I thought this was going to be something about like the old Keanu Reeves one with Drew Barrymore.
So
that doesn't happen.
No. That's strictly for the Drew Barrymore one. This one, Mother Goose comes out, introduces the whole story,
and I knew I was in trouble when Mother Goose came out with that little puppet goose. And again, it's the '60s, okay? So you gotta let it go. Lots of drugs and lots of. This is also.
Cello.
And it's Disney, and stuff like that. Well, what is that? That doesn't have anything to do with it.
Have you ever seen any other Annette Funicello movies?
Yeah, she did those beach movies with Frankie Allen.
Good?
No, not necessarily, but that doesn't mean this one's going to be bad. And I knew I was in trouble right away when we started with Mother Goose and her talking goose puppet, and then we saw Little Bo Peep and her badly spray-painted, multicolored sheep, and then you had Jack and Jill carrying a pail, and it's to this horrible song and dance number. And then you had Jack Be Nimble jumping over a candlestick that kept getting taller and taller, and I was so happy when he caught on fire. And then I knew I was in trouble. But then the best part of this movie came out. It was Ray Bolger as what was his name? Barnaby.
Barnaby. Yeah.
Barnaby, the Purple Pie Man, and Tweedledee and Tweedledum, his sidekicks.
We don't know their names.
Yeah, one's really fat. I think it's supposed to be like Laurel and Hardy because one's really fat and talks all the time. Then you got the skinny guy that just like does slapstick stuff with his body, and they are fucking hilarious. I love every time Ray Bolger and those two doofuses are on screen. Their comedic timing is perfect. Ray Bolger is a great dancer, great singer. It's cool to see that he can do more than just be the stupid Scarecrow.
Correct.
He's really good.
And I didn't know it was the same guy until you said who it was when we were watching it, and I was like, no, it's not.
Yeah, at first I thought Ray Bolger was the Cowardly Lion before I knew the names. But then once you see his face, especially, but granted, this is like 22 years later or something like that. You can see it in his face. He's still got that long, skinny face and the big nose. He is so funny in this movie. So he made the movie tolerable. And then his little sidekicks were really good. Just the slapstick stuff, like after they got rid of Tom and they pretended to be pirates.
No, they were the gypsies.
No, they got rid of Tom with the gypsies, but then they had to pretend and tell Funicello that he drowned at sea. They were pirates, and there's this gag where the skinny guy who can't talk has water leaking out of him, and the puddle under them gets bigger and bigger. That shit was funny.
Right.
That shit was really good. Then we have the rest of the movie. I hated this. The songs were horrible. The problem is
Not all of them.
the Purple Pie Man Barnaby songs were good. The problem
the
is
Gypsy song I thought was good.
well.
And Toyland, the song itself, I thought was good.
Well, okay. I like gypsy culture. I like the way they dance. I like the music, not the singing part in it. I like the dancing, the clothes, all that type of stuff was good. And that was cool when, the gypsies came out and they did their dance number and everything for the kids or whoever they did it for. I don't remember.
Right.
But then you find out Tom he was sold to the gypsies by the bad guys, right?
Correct.
And then this whole time he's been working with them, and he must have told them what happened. It
was basically the next day. So I think
that's it?
Yeah, because I think the gypsies were traveling through, and they ended up in that place, and he realized where they were. And
okay. So that happens, and then he gets dressed in disguise as basically the old lady from The Princess Bride, the Boo lady.
Yeah.
And he comes out, and he looks horrifying, like the stuff of nightmares. And then you have his voice. His singing voice, which doesn't sync up to his lips, like pretty much all the singing in this. You can tell they weren't really singing when they made the movie, which you do a lot for like music videos and stuff.
Well, I kind of felt like they weren't really singing. They were more talking the songs.
Yeah.
Especially with Annette, she was more talking the songs. It wasn't like an actual smooth singing. And it was nasally.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, I didn't think the songs were any good. And, maybe I'm a little biased. I don't really like musicals unless it's like something like Little Shop of Horrors or Sweeney Todd or South Park or anything like that. Not the typical musicals, although I do love Wizard of Oz. And I think the songs in Wizard of Oz are really, really good. But they're performed really well. Ray Bolger, like in this movie, is really good. Judy Garland is great. All that stuff. I hated every single song other than when Ray Bolger was singing, like when he's trying to.
He's doing like the cha-cha song.
Yeah, he's trying to seduce. He's trying to seduce Funicello in like the park or whatever.
Right, in the courtyard.
Yeah, and he does this really good dance number. He's fantastic in this. Every other song I fucking hate. Especially when the kids sing.
Oh really?
Yeah. Oh man, you could tell that wasn't their voices. It was way too high pitched, even for like a kid pre-puberty. You know what I mean? I thought it was horrible. Then, what else did I hate? I hated when they went into the Forest of Fear or the Forest of No Return, and they're looking for a little Bo Peep's sheep, and they get lost, and they're attacked by basically the trees from Wizard of Oz. And what happened is, they're saying no escape. We now need to take you to Toyland.
Because the mayor lives in Toyland.
So the kids are scared. They're scared by all the Wizard of Oz trees. They're worried about the sheep. We're going to Toyland. Oh boy, let's get going. Typical stupid kids. Their mind changes like in an instant. We never see the sheep. We don't know whatever happens to them. I don't know if they were killed by the evil trees. You know,
they were at the end.
Were they?
Mm-hmm.
I checked out. I didn't care. So it's basically like, you know, to me it reminded me of Peter Pan, you know, the whole Following the Leader song.
Uh-huh.
You know, where they're skipping and everyone's happy. You know, it's like the Lost Boys going to Toyland. Then they go to Toyland and they meet the toy maker. I don't know what his name is.
Mm-hmm.
Scariest looking dude I've ever seen. You know, he's just a weird looking guy. And it's the voice of the Mad Hatter from the Alice in Wonderland cartoon.
Correct. And if anybody watching has ever seen Mary Poppins,
Yes.
he is the guy in the laughing scene. Anyway.
Okay. I don't know. I've never seen Mary Poppins, and I know that's on the list for future Rachel choices. He's a big asshole.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the toy maker, or whatever he's called, because he's got this... He's not really a doofus sidekick, even though he's dressed like Jerry Lewis from the Nutty Professor. He's got this sidekick who means well, and he makes these really great inventions. And what happens is the toy maker takes full credit all the time, treats, you know, I don't know, what's his name, Shlomo or something like that, something stupid.
Yeah.
Treats him like crap, breaks all of his inventions, and then blames him for it.
Right.
And he's just an unlikable character. And then what you think is, the worst part about this toy maker, is you think he's going to be a jerk to you know, his doofus sidekick or whatever. Excuse me. And then bad things happen, like when, you know, Barnaby shows up and, you know, he gets a shrink ray and he shrinks Tom and, you know, puts him in a bird cage or something like that. Oh, the sidekicks, you know, the bad guy sidekicks, they change their mind and then they get shrunk down or something like that. So you think once Toymaker, who also gets shrunk, you know, he's going to help save the day because he ends up being the priest who's going to marry Purple Pie Man to Annette Funicello, and he does a funny gag, you know, delaying, you know, the reading of the vows. Mm-hmm. So you think once Purple Pie Man is defeated, you know, I learned my lesson, you know, you do great inventions, blah, blah, blah. No, this asshole takes the growing ray or whatever, grows Tom back, and then takes all the credit. Mm-hmm. What a jerk. So there is no redeemable characteristic in this Toyman in Toyland, and they don't even get to Toyland until after an hour into the movie. Mm-hmm. This was awful. I hated this movie. Hated it. Other than when Ray Bolger and his stupid sidekicks were on. And the problem is, this was maybe an hour and 45 minutes. They were on screen maybe a total of 20. It was rough. I don't ever want to watch this film again. Never. I don't care how good Keanu Reeves and Drew Barrymore from like 1984 or whatever, as bad as that sounds, I don't ever want to watch that one because of how bad the original one is, in my opinion. Rachel, what in your wildest imagination, other than wanting to get me back for Man with a Screaming Brain, was there any other reason why you chose this film?
No.
Because you did.
I'd like to say, I do remember I loved the movie as a kid. It's very much, I can see why kids would like it. It's very much geared towards little
Our
kids.
Our daughter had no interest.
She was making fun of it because you were.
Right, but she
wouldn't have made fun of it had you not already been doing
okay.
it. So don't blame her.
She didn't want to watch it. Now our daughter is going through this phase where she doesn't want to watch our movies, and she sits down and actually enjoys them. She didn't have any desire to watch this. She got up and left until she heard me screaming.
But she gets up and leaves in any movie.
Not all of them.
A lot of them.
Not all of them.
Whatever.
She had no interest in seeing this one. She was such a sweetheart. She tried covering my eyes for me because she knew Dad was having troubles. And she was having fun with me talking about the Purple Pie Man and asking when he would come back. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say this in this film, other than Ray Bolger and his sidekicks, the sets as weird as they are, look really good. Okay? It does give you this Mother Goose fairy tale type feel to them.
Like
Very
the shoe.
Yes, you get to see, they don't mention it, but the old lady comes out of the shoe. You have Peter Pumpkin Eater with the big pumpkin house, and him and his wife come out. So that's really cool. That's really imaginative. But that's not enough to make me enjoy this film. I remember, Rachel, you said you saw this as a kid and you enjoyed it. You actually were having fun watching it this time.
I was having fun. I obviously am not going to run out and go buy it and have to watch it every day or anything like that. But I think I enjoyed watching it now because I loved it so much as a kid.
So
it brought back like the warm fuzzy feelings of like watching.
So you didn't like it because it's a good movie. This time you liked it basically because it's like nostalgia glasses.
Yeah, and I didn't mind it. I liked some of the songs. Obviously, some of them were pretty brutal to watch, but
there's nothing wrong with that,
But I mean, I enjoyed it. If it were on TV, I might watch it. But I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna run out and buy it right now.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I really like Maximum Overdrive and Cannibal the Musical, and you hated Cannibal at least. So
what's worse?
Yeah. So what we do at the end of these videos is we're keeping a running tab on what's the worst film the other person has made us watch. So far for Rachel, it's Man with the Screaming Brain. For me, before this video, it was Troop Beverly Hills, the Shelley Long, prima donna, spoiled brat takes the Girl Scouts into the woods type of movie. That was stupid. That was boring. That was too family friendly. Now we have Babes in Toyland. As much as I loved Ray Bulger in this movie, as much as I loved wannabe Laurel and Hardy, I hated everything else in this film. Hated everything else in this film.
So I did good picking a movie you hated.
I'm very proud of you for your choice. You went for the gut. This iPad is locked up. It's not even worth me showing the poster again.
Sure,
so far,
I'll get it.
I don't care. I'm not lifting it up. So far now, Babes in Toyland is the worst film. Yes, you can't see with the glare. It's okay. There you go. Babes in Toyland is the worst film that Rachel made me watch. For Please Don't Make Me Watch. We have a new champion. And you know what?
What do I win?
You don't win anything.
Oh.
You get punished big time with my next choices because I'm going bad. I'm crossing the line.
I got something stored up here in the old noggin.
That's fine. I think I'm gonna get stuff that's going to break you. But you know what? In all fairness, I didn't want to watch this movie. It could have been good. I didn't want to fucking watch Annie, and I ended up thinking that movie was great for the most part. You can watch hear what I say about that in that video. But there was a chance. Very slim. I could have been wrong, but I wasn't. Babes in Toyland was awful. Don't recommend it unless you like Disney movies like Rachel does. I like Disney movies. I've never liked a live-action Disney movie. I hate Pete's Dragon. I don't ever want to see Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and I know you're going to make me watch Mary Poppins.
Blasphemy.
But that's it. I've said enough. I've said way too much. Rachel really hit me hard with this one, but in the end, that's it. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment below. Tell me if you wanted to hang yourself after watching this movie before. Tell me if you enjoy my pain. Yeah, tell me if you've seen it. Tell me if you enjoy my pain. Tell me if you agree with Rachel. All that. And also, this isn't a Christmas movie.
Congratulate Rachel if I did a good job of being a bad movie person giver.
One more thing. They play this all the time at Christmas. This isn't a Christmas movie.
Why?
Because
they're making toys for Christmas.
They don't go to Toyland until like an hour in, and they only mention Christmas one time. You don't see Santa Claus. You don't see any reindeer. You don't see any snow until the end of the movie. This isn't a Christmas movie.
But they're making toys for Christmas.
They only mention that once when they're showing the machine that what's his face, the Nutty Professor is making for the toy maker, and then it blows up.
Yeah, because they were making toys for Christmas.
Like and subscribe. Click the bell. Pray for Rachel's soul because it's going to hurt her the next time. Trust me. Cheers. Sure.